This is the video review of Transformers Legends LG42 Godbomber. It is an add-on combination to Super Ginrai to create God Ginrai from Transformers Victory. If I'm not mistaken, that was the title series where this came in. So okay, let's go ahead and start off with the packaging as partake of every single video review when I can. We got a nice open window box here to display Godbomber in his vehicle mode, or whatever the heck it is, you know, like a trailer or something. And then of course we got the weapons, the accessories. You can tell by the imprints of what everything is. There would be the gun up there, the sword over here, you know, Godbomber here, and then of course the headmaster here, which I have no idea what the headmaster's name is anyway. So for the rest of this video review, I shall just dub him Headmaster. So beyond that, we have Transformers Legends here. Anyway, we got LG, Life's Good 42, Super Trailer, the Super Robot, a very nice picture of Godbomber with his mouth open. I guess he's doing some kind of battle cry or something, or maybe he's just waiting for someone to slip him a banana, if you know what I mean. So, we got Godbomber's name there, some Japanese text that I can't read. Onto the side here, we got that nice picture of Godbomber again. On this side here, we got a little specifics of Godbomber and Japanese text that I can't read. We got a base mode, we got a vehicle mode, and then we got robot mode, which is cut off halfway. And then on this side here, we've got robot mode, battle station, base mode, vehicle mode, and that's all that I can really read. Everything else is in Japanese text, and you know, I lack thereof and the knowledge of their language. And then of course we got right down here, Godbomber plus Super Ginrai equals God Ginrai, and we will get to that in the next video review. And that's basically it for the packaging, so let's remove this now. Okay, so before we get to the action figure, let's go ahead and take a look at the instruction manual, which happens to be also a comic strip. So here's a nice look at what's going on here. Even though I can't read any of this, it is some nice artwork, to tell you the truth. And over here, which is supposed to be the back of this booklet here, we got the tech specs. So if you want to pause the viewer and read those, you can, if the camera will focus on them. So there's that. Onto the back here, we got a continuation to this short little comic strip. This and that and this. Not much else really going on here. Let's go ahead and get to the colorless instructions, which is quite big. Very big. It's too much going on here that I really cannot showcase it all on camera. I apologize, but then again, you really can't see what's going on here anyway without a little bit of some red or purple to indicate whether or not it's an Autobot or Decepticon instruction, just like Hasbro does. Here is Godbomber in his trailer mode, and it looks good. It works the part basically from the original, which if I had, I would do a side-by-side comparisons, but unfortunately I don't. So for your size comparisons for this video review, let's bring back in Super Ginrai. So there you got that. So again, he looks the part. He's pretty nice from front, back to the sides. And you will notice that there is a little bit of some paint sloppiness here on the blue stripe. So, well, fortunately, everything that you see here that's silver, or, you know, close to silver, is actually painted. The real plastic color is actually that dark blue. So, you know, it's not going to take much, maybe just a little bit of alcohol and a cotton swab to rub that off, and, you know, no harm, no foul. So here's a nice look at the Autobot logo, which is nice on both sides, very clean. Here on the front, looks pretty clean. We got the headmaster inside here in the cockpit, and he looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and get this bit out of the way, because the real transformation is actually like this, when not in being pulled by Super Ginrai. So, you know, again, it looks really nice. And the paint job is pretty clean, minus that. The silver here is really nice. I like the yellow stripes going on here. I got a little bit of a chip right there, but that was due to testing out this figure. It's really good. Not much else to say. We do have painted wheels, which Takara Tomy knows how to do right, and Hasbro just lacks thereof. And overall, I'm quite impressed with this mode. It doesn't really do much. I mean, you do have weapon storage for his shoulder cannon. You've got lasers here on the side, which will obviously be his arms, which is nice. He's got laser cannons here for the wingtips. And yeah, he's loaded for the top portion. Not much else going on here from the sides, but I mean, if you wanted to, you could take Super Ginrai's gun here. You can tab it in if you want. So there you got the option to do that, and it doesn't really hinder the movement on the ground. It's got enough clearance. You can do it right here as well. You can load him up if you got the guns, you got the time. Why not make with the goods? So anyway, with that said, let's just go ahead and get this guy into his next mode, which is going to be his base mode. Okay, so here is Godbomber's base mode, which does look pretty good. Not gonna lie, this is probably one of the better base modes to come out of any triple changer or quadruple changer. There are some gripes, unfortunately, and once again, it's got to do with the cannon not being capable of holding its own weight. So yeah, I mean, you can see the little Titan Master dude hanging around in the back, which this being the tower that just flips up so he can sit in there. You will notice that Godbomber's helmet is applied here. It doesn't tab in anywhere. This is not a secure fit here, unfortunately, and it does come off pretty easily. I'm actually amazed this is holding right now. It's the only thing that's really holding. No, actually, I gotta take that back. I mean, the wings that do connect actually to these tower bits here, which are the lower portion of Godbomber's legs, they do hold very securely. I can lift this up and show you that, yeah, they're not going anywhere. That's pretty nice. It does, it looks good. I cannot lie about that. Yes, it is a fiddly mess here, and that's got to do with the forearms of Godbomber not really tabbing in too well in this mode. But overall, I'm quite impressed with it. Yeah, we've actually got a home run hitter here in this review. Surprisingly, it's the base mode. Yeah. I thought Ginrai was the tip of the iceberg. Boy, oh boy, was I wrong. This figure has a tendency to fall apart on himself every time I touch him. You will notice that his arm is on the floor. And his sword, well, you know, we already know the problem with that. Where's his shoulder cannon? Here. I've already tried to modify it to a certain point. It works pretty good, but it still has that tendency to fall on its own weight, and it's unfortunate. It's a hollow thing. Very hollow. Very lightweight. And it can't even support the weight that it has to offer, which is nothing. It's 0G. Weak joints, loose parts, a very tight ratcheting system on the shoulders that unfortunately always untabs the shoulder from the body. That's very annoying. It happens a lot when I go about messing with the bicep swivel here. It is so tight that it just wants to take his shoulder with him from the body. This is one Transformer figure which has a reason to be the way he is that I just cannot review. I just can't do it. There's just so much wrong with this figure. Now, proportionally wise and appearance wise, he does look pretty good. And I'm not gonna kid here, so let's go ahead and get this arm back on so I can complete the look on the guy, even if I can't get the shoulder cannon. I mean, this would be a really cool, just standalone Transformer action figure if it didn't have to have any combination with Super Ginrai. But as it is, that's what's killing this figure. He looks the part. He looks good. I really want to like this figure, but I can't love him. I just can't love him because of his faults, and it's unfortunate. That's a bit questionable here because his crotch piece is silver on the figure, but the artwork here shows it to be black. I wonder why that is. Huh. I didn't catch that until now. It's kind of weird. But, yeah, he looks good profile-wise. From the sides to the back, yes, he's got, obviously, a vehicle on the back of him, which can't be hidden any way at all. But it's not that bad. I mean, look, that's not even considered a backpack. His heel spurs are something to talk about as well. They're pretty short here. Yes, he still holds up just fine because he's really not top heavy, to tell you the truth. But he does have a tendency to still lean back on himself because there really is no heel spur. I don't know if this counts, considering that the wheels on the guy actually stand out much more in a distance than the actual heel spur itself. How is that supposed to work for heel spurs? I don't know. He is loaded with articulation. He does have the standard Titan's Return free-giving articulation, so you got that. He does have a hinge joint at the shoulders, which is getting looser every time I mess with this figure because it's on a stupid pin joint. We do have the ratcheting shoulders. That does get a fair range of play. I mean, basically, the only thing that's stopping it from going all the way up is that right there, that little tab that sticks out like so. It does have a bicep swivel, and that causes problems with the shoulders, as I mentioned before. He does have 90 degrees of play on a single hinge at the elbows. He does have a swivel at the hands, which sometimes can also knock his forearms out of placement, like so. He does have a ball jointed thumb. He does have a hinge joint here at the fingers. If I can get the thumb out of the way, you can get more range. See? Really nice. I do like that. Due to transformation and the fact that all this comes separated here by the panel line, you can tell he doesn't have any waist articulation. He does have some leg movement. You do get a split, but that's about as far as it goes, so no JCVD posing there. You do have a ratcheting system at the legs that holds them up pretty nice with this much going forward and this much going back. So, where was I? You do have double jointed knees due to transformation. You got a very nice ratcheting system here at the upper portion, and then the lower portion is because it's got fold in on itself. Does give you a really nice range of play at the legs, which is very nice. And due to the fact that this is actually a Combiner Wars gimmick here, see? Combiner Wars gimmick, you do get a swivel on a very nice ratcheting system. Very nice. I love the clicking. That's pretty nice. We do have a hinge joint for up and down movement at the feet due to transformation. Same goes with the back heel spur. And something I forgot to show off in the last take of this video, he does have a hinge joint here, which does allow some very nice range of an ankle rocker system. But unfortunately, due to the fact that the figure can only get so much out of the split, it's kind of useless to have that much free movement there. I mean, look at that. It just doesn't work there. Wings on the figure does look good profile-wise, but, you know, they're free moving with the shoulders here. And, you know, it just, I really wish that they could have locked in somewhere here in this mode so, you know, they would just be out of the way. Godbomber's sword does actually have a slot right here, if my camera will focus in on it. There it is right there, where it can actually slot into this tab here, which is very hard to see in the hand, making this a very secure fit. Oh, for crying out loud. Did I mention that this action figure is a parts former? I think I did. Alright, one last try with this. If I can find the tab, slot it in like so. And as you can see, he holds it pretty secure. That's nice. I do like the attention to this. It's something that... It's a step in the right direction to actually have a pegging in system for his sword. Unlike Super Ginrai, which his hands, the holes are actually too big to actually have this fit in securely. It's unfortunate that it really turned out that way, but for this guy, it works the part, and I really believe that the sword is meant for him more specifically. Overall, Godbomber is a really nice figure that unfortunately has to be flawed with so much going on here. The fact that he's a parts farmer and he has to combine and become 4 separate things really just causes complications, and it's unfortunate because I really do like what's going on here with this figure appearance wise, but outside of that you really can't do anything with this figure. I mean, if you go to pose him, his arms come off or his shoulders come undone, or heck, his weapons just don't work as good as they could have been. At least the sword works just fine on this guy. I do appreciate that he can actually hold his own weapon, even if the blade is pretty dang loose. I don't know if there's anything that I can really do about that. Fix some of these problems here that I've mentioned in this video and I showcased in the last video with the Godbomber combination. Again, I like the figure. I really wish that I could love the figure, but at the way that he's standing off currently, it's just not gonna happen. This is a figure that has so much it's got to offer, and unfortunately it plays fault to everything else that the figure is all about on its own. A solo figure, it's not. A parts former, it is. That's its role. Questions or comments, you know what to do. Hit it down below in the comment section of this video, and until the next video review, which I will be going into detail about God Ginrai. That's going to be fun. This is your King Red's Power signing off, saying thank you very much for watching.